Now, more than a year after it closed its land borders, Nigeria is looking to reopen them as soon as possible. Now, this is according to President Muhammadu Buhari. The announcement made during a meeting with governors elected on the platform of all the ruling progressives Congress in Abuja. We do know that Nigeria's move was to control the smuggling of goods from neighboring countries, and sources say that Nigeria first showed its willingness to reopen the border last month amid skyrocketing food prices and increased calls for reopening of the borders. Now, let's bring in the president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obin, on this particular development. Also going to be joining us is the executive secretary of the Ghana International Trade Commission, Frank Ajukum, as well as the PRO of the Trade Ministry, Prince Buhari there. But let me start off with you, Dr. Joseph Obin. First of all, how does GUTA welcome this news?
Nigeria has just realized that it cannot live in isolation, and that the opening of their borders is only at the instance of their citizenry, who have come under a lot of pressure and suffering as a result of the closure. I've told you before that the goods that were locked up, even at Benin, most of these goods belong to Nigerians who have come to other West African countries to buy their goods, that they find their goods locked up there. Their citizens have actually suffered. And so it is at the instance of their own citizens who are suffering because they cannot live in isolation. That is the reason why the borders is being closed.
So you feel that they are being pinched by the pressures of inflation? Do you feel that the pressures of inflation is pinching the Nigerian government to reopen its borders?
So their inflation has skyrocketed at all time. They are at recession, all because of their closure. So whatever the intention, whatever the aims, I think they miscalculated it. And that's why they are now opening. So it's not as a result of any pressure that is coming from other West African countries or otherwise.
Let me bring in Mr. Frank Ajukum. He's the
citizens who are actually suffering.
Great. Let me bring in Mr. Frank Ajukum, who is the Executive Secretary of the Ghana International Trade Commission. Mr. Ajukum, we're so grateful. Now, you've been monitoring this for quite a while. Could this change the face of trade between Ghana and Nigeria moving forward, considering the harm it already caused businesses? Hello, Mr. Ajukum, if you could unmute your microphone so we could hear you loud and clear. Mr. Ajukum, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. So as I was asking, how could this change the face of trade between Ghana and Nigeria?
So I'm saying it's welcome news for as long as the plans are turning to reality, because Nigeria is the biggest trading partner in the sub-region. And so any closure of their borders at all has a tripling effect on all countries in the sub-region and beyond. So it is a good deal that they are not beginning to see the reality of the situation, because also, even though the borders have been closed, we understand that smuggling has been very active along the border, because Nigeria, as well as its neighbors, are interdependent on each other. And so they cannot really live like an island in an isolation. So it's good news, and we do hope that it comes into reality. The fact of the matter is that the closure has brought untold hardships to all traders, international traders along the border. You do recall that when Nigeria first closed its borders unceremoniously, lots of vehicles and trucks and articulators and human beings who were traveling to do business were caught behind the border, and government even has to send some relief package to help ease the discomfort and the displeasure of some of the Ghanaians locked up there. So it is good news, and we do hope that it does turn into reality.
Well, gentlemen, please stay on the line for me, because we've also been joined by the Public Relations Officer of the Ministry of Trade and Investment, Trade and Industry, Prince Buhari there. Prince, we're so grateful that you joined us. You've been in talks, negotiations with the Nigerian government over the past few months on this developing issue. How does government receive this news?
It is a very welcome news, as my big men have already said, since Frank Ajekum has really articulated the issues very well, and Dr. Obin, it's a welcome news to the entire sub-region, because Ghana and Nigeria, for want of a better word, are the big players on this landscape. And so for this to have been happening wasn't something that was comfortable to both countries. And it's for that reason that delegations were sent to Nigeria and sent for them to our country to ensure that this thing was brought to a closure. You remember also that Nigeria has recently ratified the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement and has deposited its instruments at the AU Commission Health. And so that is already taken. I think that is the best and the only option available now for them to do, and we welcome it.
The best and only option. We're so grateful, Prince, that you joined us. Let me jump on to you, Dr. Joseph Obin. Finally, how timely do you think Nigeria's intent to reopen the border could influence the Continental Free Trade Agreement next year?
Yeah, it is timely for their own benefits, because they've signed up to the Continental Free Trade Area, and if their manufacturers and their traders will have a full benefit, then they have to do this. It's as a matter of urgency even for them to open, especially when the Continental Free Trade is bound to start from January onwards.
Okay.
So whatever thing that is happening now is because of their own benefit and not from outside.
All right, Dr. Joseph Obin, we're so grateful. Let me end with you, Mr. Frank Ajekum. Finally, what do you think government's positioning should be moving forward with a trade tie as Nigeria?
Well, Ghana, our borders are open. We do always go according to the protocols we signed with ECOWAS and now the Africa Continental Free Trade. So it is welcome, and it does give more impetus to the effectiveness of the African Continental Free Trade, because as we all realize, without Nigeria in the mix, it becomes a bit of a disincentive. And now that they are coming back, they've realized that it's good for them to come back. Right. It is good, and they are welcome. And Ghana, we are known to be opening our borders all the time and doing goodness. So it is welcome news.
Dr. Frank Ajekum, we're so grateful. He's Executive Secretary for the Ghana International Trade Commission. Earlier on was Dr. Joseph Obin, the President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, as well as Prince Boache, the PRO for the Ministry of Trade and Industry.